The secret to tennis success. Everybody wants to know a secret. Well, we've got 3 of them for you today. They're all invisible. The secret to tennis success is our topic for our YouTube video this time. Let me flip over my 10-minute hourglass. That's what it looks like. Now, where do we start? Well, it starts with my name. I'm Coach RJ, and it's our mission to expedite your specific tennis goal. And what is that? Well, we got 2 specific ones that we specialize in, like a doctor of medicine specializes in a certain part of the human form. Well, we specialize as well. In what form? In the form of a free ride, in the form of making money on the pro tour. Those are the specialties for tennis treasures. So, we're going to talk about secret stuff today. So let's talk about it. We're going to have about 3 or 4 series of this. The secret of successful tennis. 1, let me just give you all 3 titles now. 1 is diet. I'll give you the details of why that's critical if you don't know already. 2, footwork. Again, invisible. When you're watching a tennis match, you're not watching a person's feet most of the time. You're looking at the ball, where it's going, and the shots they're hitting, and so forth, if they're going to get to the ball or not. Then you've got the 3rd item, which is knowing your opponent. See, we've jumped through several chapters of the book. So that number 3 item is like in the chapter 9 phase of our training book here. So it looks like 100 pages, 11 URL videos, 40 photographs, 24 question and answer quiz in the back, and much, much more. Now, so let's go to diet real quick. Now, diet is more important than you know, simply because that's what messed up my tennis career, just for starters. I was drinking a bunch of pops, eating a lot of fast food, a lot of sweets, and it inhibited me as far as my skill set. But my mind was still strong, and I have 6 other colleagues helping me create this powerful information that makes you stronger than ever I was. It depends on how far you want to go with it. But you can really become somebody very special if you've got our 5 prerequisites under your belt. So, back to diet. So when we talk about diet, we're talking about not eating so much fast food. I mean, sometimes you can't help it and so forth. I know that. Anyway, we're trying to focus on more like health-based plant foods, organic foods that feed your cells directly. That helps build your cartilage and your muscle groups. So look into that more deeply. Ask your parents to help you with that a bit. But the diet is more important because now you can go on television and watch men or women playing tennis. And these are young people, I mean under 30 years old, and they're wrapped up. You can see evidence of a challenge there. So diet, look into that. That's a big deal. It's one of the columns. So next column, and we're jumping from that aspect to a totally different area, footwork. Why is footwork important? Well, the first part that's important is that you can get to the ball on time and not get there late or just barely get there at all. So that's an off-court practice process. And we strongly suggest you have a system or a plan for that with your current coach or your family to help you to get through that phase of fast stutter steps, little steps to get you there quickly. I know it's not easy at first, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad. Federer has really good footwork and other top players as well. Also, another good reason to get footwork under your belt is so you don't get injured. Yeah, believe it or not, that's a good way to get in trouble. You can twist an ankle in no time flat. After that, now we're jumping to a whole nother category, the mental part of this. Well, actually, it's chapter 4. Well, can't go into too much detail, sorry. And that is to know your opponent. If you have that opportunity, you may not have that chance because you could be in a tournament and you have no clue who your opponent is. But then there are some occasions when you can know who your opponent is if you do the research by asking around before you play them. Ask somebody who's played against them or somebody who knows him and say, well, gee, what's his strength, if you don't mind telling me? And then go ahead and then pop the big question. Does he have some weaknesses, for example? Probe. Also, another way to find out who your opponent is if they're seeded or not. If they're seeded, it's a little easier to find out some background information about them. Also, if you won the first round by using chapter 5 in this book, which helps get you off the court within an hour, because you're using all the components, the 5 key components of chapter 5, then if you do that, then you're off the court before your next round probably, because your next person that you're going to play is still on court. You got off the court a little quicker than most. And you can go ahead and look at the draw, see who your next opponent might be, and see who they're playing. You're going to play the winner of such and such, so you watch that match and figure out who's winning that match and then monitor them and take some notes, which we go into detail of course, at tennistreasures.org. All right? So those are 3 key components: knowing your opponent, and then also, let's go to number 1, the diet, and then the footwork. Those are big deals to us. Those are hidden. Nobody knows about that. That's kind of a secret. And by the way, there will be other secrets to successful tennis coming down the pike, because there's just so many we have. I mean, it's a coaching program that's online, right to your house directly. You don't have to go to a training camp. You don't have to go to Mexico or to Florida or California or wherever. You train from home. And our training is very thorough. It's not a simple, 6-day training course. Our training course is 6 months. So we make sure that you are thoroughly trained and going to be successful at this. Don't forget, our objectives are 2. We specialize in free ride scholarships. We specialize in making money on the Pro Tour. So you say, making money, what's that mean? That means when you look at your total earnings, it's going to average out to 6 figures per year on the Pro Tour. But we need some time, usually 3 years or so. Actually, the tools here won't take you long. So in other words, I'm saying within the first couple of years, you'll be in 6 figures. And I can feel confident saying that. Anyway, bottom line is, we are focused on free rides and the Pro Tour. Tennistreasures.org is where to reach us. Hourglass is about running out, just right on time. And if you have questions, reach out to us at tennistreasures.org or go to the description and click on the link. We can answer questions with no charge whatsoever, no pressure at all. Just reach out. My name is Coach RJ, and I'll see you soon.